You thought they were just influencers, just vloggers, just streamers. But behind the memes, the thumbnails, the merch drops, a new empire was forming. Quietly, strategically, relentlessly. Because YouTubers aren't chasing clout anymore, they're chasing capital. How YouTubers are quietly becoming billionaires, and you didn't notice.
Hi, I'm Scandalizee, and I uncover the stories they don't want you to hear. The rise, the fall, the lies, the leaks, and the power behind the curtain. Because every legend has a dark side, and I'm here to show it to you.
At the start, YouTube was a digital backyard. You uploaded for fun. You had a webcam, a dream, maybe a hoodie with your name on it. Then the money started trickling in. A couple $100 from AdSense. A free energy drink from a brand no one had heard of. And slowly, being a YouTuber started to feel like a job. By 2015, things shifted. The top creators weren't just personalities anymore. They were platforms. They launched merch lines, sold out tours, built cult followings. But here's what no one saw coming. The creator wasn't just a creator anymore. They were turning into something much more dangerous. An operator, a founder, a quietly compounding corporation. This didn't happen overnight. It happened quietly. One drop, one sponsor, one warehouse at a time.
No, I don't. I reinvest everything in the company, but for some reason, I just find it entertaining to watch financial content. But no, every dollar I make, we just put back into the videos, which is why they've gotten so big. Because every year the views go up, we make more money, and that's the thing. Most people would usually take that money out of the business and go buy a giant mansion or things like that. But I just consistently put it back in the videos,
And while you were watching the content, the business was watching you. If YouTube has a blueprint for turning views into empire, MrBeast wrote it. At first, he was just the guy who suffered for views, repeating Logan Paul 100,000 times, watching paint dry, a kid in his room with too much time and not enough money. But Jimmy wasn't playing for subscribers. He was studying every frame, every intro. He dissected retention graphs like a surgeon.
That was a huge breakthrough. Wow. People want to just see a more natural me. And I don't have to scream constantly to hold people's retention. You know what I mean? It sounds obvious in hindsight, but so it's like that little thing. I mean, every video we improve a bunch of stuff. So it's these 5 things a video we're improving over the last 2 years.
Then he started scaling, not just with views, but with infrastructure. Today, MrBeast doesn't just upload. He operates multiple full-time teams, dozens of editors, translators dubbing him into Spanish, Hindi, Portuguese. He didn't ask YouTube for global distribution. He built it himself. Feastables, Beast Burger, Ghost Kitchens, equity deals. His content doesn't just entertain, it funnels customers into his ecosystem. He turned content into commerce, attention into inventory, virality into vertical integration. And here's the secret. It's not about money, it's about leverage. He reinvested everything, and in the process became the most powerful independent media brand on earth. Once upon a time, Logan Paul was the punchline. A Vine star turned daily vlogger. All energy, no depth, loud, shirtless, trending. He was what the internet rewards in bursts, unfiltered spectacle. He had millions of subscribers, millions of dollars, and 0 breaks. Then came the crash, a scandal that nearly erased him from the platform. Public backlash, platform suspensions, brand desertion. But Logan didn't disappear. He did something smarter. He transformed.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize.
Boxing became the new persona, from clown to competitor, from controversy to control. He leveraged the same attention that almost destroyed him and turned it into a new platform, not just for redemption, but for commerce. Prime launched in January 2022, not as a YouTube sponsor, but as a creator-owned product disguised as a viral drink. In just 12 months, Prime moved from store shelves to stadium sponsorships, from hydration gimmick to a $1.2 billion brand. And here's the genius. Logan Paul didn't just sell a drink. He sold the idea of transformation. He became proof that with the right product, the right platform, and the right comeback narrative, you could go from canceled to capitalist. No celebrity endorsements, no traditional media, just 100 million followers, algorithmic dominance, and a generation raised to believe that influencers are the future of business. He doesn't give away iPhones. He doesn't stage million-dollar challenges. He doesn't need to. Because Iman Gadzhi doesn't build hype with entertainment. He builds it with exclusivity. Where MrBeast scales mass virality and Logan sells energy drinks to teenagers, Iman sells the one thing the internet craves more than fame: freedom. The offer is simple. Don't go to college. Start a digital marketing agency. Follow his systems and make 6 figures from your laptop. He's not just selling knowledge, he's selling a new identity. The anti-college CEO, the 19-year-old founder, the digital rebel who builds a 6-figure income from Bali while his classmates drown in student debt. It's the oldest trick in luxury marketing. Make the product seem unreachable, then show them how you can give them the shortcut. Critics call it fake, call it overpriced, call it a cult, but that's the point. Iman doesn't need the mass market. He needs a niche that pays. Fewer subscribers, more conversions, and complete control of his digital real estate. Because Gadzhi's content isn't designed for entertainment, it's designed for positioning. He creates once, then automates the funnel, and the rest runs on digital autopilot. There was a time when creators just made videos, uploaded, cashed out, slept. That time is gone. Today's top YouTubers don't just have teams, they have departments, chief operating officers, logistics managers, full-time copywriters, paid media buyers, legal counsel. And that's the turning point, from creator to operator. They no longer see themselves as content machines. They see themselves as media companies. MrBeast runs a CPG empire. Logan Paul runs a beverage company. Nelk runs a liquor brand with real supply chains, logistics, legal teams. Emma Chamberlain turned personal aesthetic into shelf-ready identity. Her YouTube channel may have slowed down, but her business didn't. Because creators are now founders, not just monetizing their audience, but learning to monetize their own influence infrastructure. They know the data. They know what content triggers sales. And they're hiring the same roles you'd find at Shopify, Netflix, or Coca-Cola. Welcome to the new creator class. They don't go viral for fun. They go viral on schedule, with quarterly goals, P&Ls, and conversion rates. The hoodie-wearing CEO isn't a tech cliche anymore. It's a YouTuber. At first, creators begged for sponsors. $500 for a shout-out, $2,000 for a promo read. Now they own the brand. Not 10%, not 20%. They start at equity. This is the new play. Don't just promote the product, be the product. Or better yet, own the thing being sold. It's quiet capital, built from influence, but structured like investment portfolios. Logan Paul didn't sell ads for Gatorade. He competed with them. And now, he's doing bigger numbers in schools than Coke.
12-ounce can of Red Bull has 160 calories.
The same size can of Prime Energy only has 10 calories.
That means you have to drink a Prime Energy this big to consume the same amount of calories as in this Red Bull.
Meanwhile, MrBeast holds major shares in Feastables, MrBeast Burger, and other stealth brands under Beast Holdings. Creators are no longer influencers. They're quiet shareholders. They make content to push value, but their wealth lives in back-end deals, equity structures, and pre-exit strategy. And here's what you missed. While you watched the thumbnails, they were setting up multi-million-dollar exits. Not ad deals, acquisitions, and no one even noticed. They aren't asking for partnerships anymore. They're offering equity rounds. You didn't think twice. You saw the bottle. You watched the video. You bought it. It felt like a casual decision, but it wasn't casual. It was designed. The content isn't marketing. The content is the marketing. The video is the ad. The view is the funnel. Welcome to the frictionless consumer loop. You laugh, you click, you buy. No banner ad, no middleman. Just trust. Weaponized. She doesn't scream buy this. She whispers, you already trust me. This is just more of that. Creators aren't pitching products. They're offering proximity. Buy this hoodie, you're part of the tribe. Buy this drink, you get a taste of the lifestyle. Buy this course, you're not just a fan, you're a founder in training. They've turned the audience into marketers, the algorithm into a supply chain, and the comment section into a checkout line. And the wildest part, you think it was your idea. They don't teach in classrooms. They don't run for office. They don't drop albums or write books. But for millions of people, YouTubers shaped their worldview. They're not just content creators anymore. They're role models, philosophers, brand architects, influence brokers. 15 years ago, your heroes were athletes and movie stars. Now, it's someone with a thumbnail and a ring light. And here's the kicker. It feels more real. Because creators don't talk down to you. They talk like you. And that's why the influence goes deeper. This isn't fandom. This is identity adoption. What they drink, you drink. What they wear, you wear. What they believe slowly becomes yours. And that's why the shift is so powerful and so invisible. Legacy media lost, not to tech, not to AI, but to personalized parasocial micro-celebrities who turned authenticity into an asset class. They didn't just replace your entertainment. They replaced your attention economy and your trust. They made you laugh, made you cry, made you click. And while you were watching the chaos, they were building companies. See, it's not that you weren't paying attention. It's that you were paying attention to the wrong things. The thumbnails, the edits, the absurdity. It all worked.
A big problem with my YouTube videos is people just don't think they're real. And so like I have to like show so much at the start. And I have to like, you know, I have like this 10-second window to convince someone.
That retention didn't just keep you watching. It kept you distracted. While you were focused on the giveaways, they were securing manufacturing deals. While you were unboxing their merch, they were pitching to investors. You didn't miss the story. You just saw the surface. Because this generation of creators learned something from Silicon Valley. Control the experience, and you control the outcome. To you, it's a video. To them, it's vertical integration, brand equity, behavioral monetization. And it all happened in public, in playlists, in vlogs, in real time. You just didn't see it for what it was. Not because you weren't smart, but because they didn't want you to. There's no boardroom, no hedge fund, no Wall Street handshake. Just a camera, a platform, and a plan. You thought they were YouTubers. They were quietly building billion-dollar businesses. They didn't build media empires. They built consumer machines. Content became collateral. Personality became product. And your attention became investment capital. You didn't see it because billionaires used to wear suits. These ones wear joggers. No Forbes cover, no red carpet, just creators with conversion rates. And here's the part no one says out loud. The richest people on YouTube aren't chasing views anymore. They're chasing valuation. This isn't a hobby, it's a strategy. Because the next billionaires won't come from banks. They'll come from channels, from thumbnails, from playlists you've already watched. You just didn't realize. You weren't watching content. You were watching corporations being built in real time.